you for joining me. I'm Scott, and this is a 61 Martin D18, and it suffered some shipping damage. The guitar kind of folded in on itself, and it wasn't due to the handler, it was due to it kind of being packaged wrong. So we're gonna fix it up. 1961, I gotta tell you, Del Shannon Runaway came out in 61. I could just imagine like everybody was trying to learn that tune when it came out. If you don't remember it, like my parents and some of the older guys I hung out with would even Tom Petty mentions that Del Shannon in Runaway in his song Running Down a Dream, but it was kind of like something like that. Anyways, let's get looking at this guitar. We're going to get her fixed up. So as the story goes, the customer was down in Florida, and he shipped me a guitar, a 77 Strat, that had been caught in Hurricane Ian, and the frets kind of rusted all into the fingerboard, and I did all the repairs. It took me months to get it repaired, and he said, when you send it back to me, I'm going to send you my 61 Martin for a neck reset. And I said, okay, well, I'm shipping you the Aries guitar shipping system for acoustic guitars. I'm going to package the Strat in it with some extra padding around the body, and you can use that same box to ship the Martin back to me. Anyways, there's this inflatable vest that goes around the guitar, and then there's this cardboard section that the neck goes through it. So this cardboard goes over the neck and it supports the whole center of the box. Well, instead of him putting the cardboard divider that goes in the center of the box around where it's supposed to go, he put it up at the top of the box. And there was nothing supporting the box in the middle. So that's why it broke. And we're going to fix it. I mean, we're going to do a neck reset anyways. So I think this video will be interesting for those who have encountered shipping mishaps and a situation like this where this part of the neck will probably come out easily, but this section is not going to want to come out. It's going to fight us the whole way. And I've dealt with repairs even worse than this, so I don't really look at this as a huge challenge, but it will be a challenge because, for one, the way I do neck resets, the way you've seen me do them, is I always string up the guitar, put it in a new saddle, and determine how much I want to remove from the heel before I even start taking the neck off. Well, in this case, I can't really do that because I can't string it up. And the other thing was, I think it was left strung to full tension when he put it in the box. You should always detune your guitars before you ship them. Slack tune them. Yes, guitar repair guys like guitars that have been slacked off in the box. Slack. Next, I heat the fretboard extension with the 250 watt heat lamp bulb. I loosen the extension. I'm going to remove the 14th and 15th fret. We'll be drilling a hole to access the dovetail pocket. There's a little space behind the dovetail. I start off with a 1/16 drill bit to make sure that I've located the hole, and then I widen it. For the electric heat probes, I chamfer this hole because I have to drill a pretty wide hole for the StewMac heat stick. I hate drilling a hole that big. You have to fill it in later. But I wanted insurance that I heated up the bottom portion of that broken to heal in the process. The 40-watt soldering pen doubles as a fret heater as well. You can get both of those from Stuart McDonald. Now I take it down to the garage. That's where I keep the neck removal jig and the steamer. Most of the time I end up steaming the neck, but in this one I didn't need to. And you'll hear it pop. There's a little piece of the dovetail that got stuck down into the neck block. And a little bit of spruce. I'm actually going to take those little pieces of wood fibers and de-glue them from that spot and re-glue them where they need to be. Oh boy, I think this old Martin's going to need a little rest after all this fun today. Yeah. Now we go to the recovery room. We lost a little spruce here. Oh, we got a crack in the neck block too. Right here. Right here's a little crack in the neck block. I'm gonna glue this baby up. Here you can see where the old screw was. The old screw, that the strap button screw. Here's my hide glue. This is the hot hide glue. Just a real thin little coating here. And do both sides. And it really just snaps right together. It's kind of, kind of indexed. All these grain lines. So just kind of click it together and a little squeeze out there. I'll clamp it. I choose hot hide glue for this glue up because it's the thinnest glue that I have, and it's really about the strongest glue as well. But I really want the thin glue because these cracks are really hard to fill. It's hard to force the glue down in these small cracks when the glue is too thick. I'm going to try to just kind of pump it a little bit with this clamp. Pump, 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 pump. Know what I'm saying? Just a little pumpage. Seems to be squeezing out There's a little crack right here. I better put down some wax paper. There we go. I want to give you guys a good look at this neck reinforcement. They call this, well, I call it a T-rod, I guess. It's a steel neck reinforcement that Martin did for a while. They're pretty good. These necks stay pretty straight. We've got the regular old kind of ski jump thing going on right there too, which is going to be hard to correct with that piece of steel in the way. Damn it. And once again, we've got a bridge and a bridge plate that could use some repairs. Let's see here. I mean, you can see it. I'm going to stick a ball end of a string down here and just try to give you a little bit of a deal of how the string is. Well, this isn't exactly an E string either, but it's a bit damaged on the bottom side. I'm going to give you the side angle view of this. We want that string back here next to the pin as it makes its way up towards the top of the saddle, the new taller saddle. In the past, they'd routed it here because the saddle's so low that they wanted it closer to the saddle because they wanted a better brake angle here. Imagine there's a saddle there. But the other thing I've got here is this winding here on the string towards the ball end. That would be resting right close to the onto the saddle there. Decided to fix the bridge plate with maple fibers and thin CA glue. Next, I create or I undercut the heel for the new neck angle.
No, was that him? Oh, I'm sorry. I misread whose account that was from.
So to do a neck reset, you have to remove material from the edges of the heel. So you don't want all this extra wood in the way when you're trying to shape the outer edges of it. A lot of people like to leave about an 1/8 inch perimeter around the whole thing, which is a good thickness to shoot for. Doesn't have to be perfect. No one ever sees this except the next guy that takes it off. It's just it's nice to have a consistent thickness or perimeter. That way when you do your sandpaper pulls, it pulls evenly on both sides. But I only do the sandpaper pulls like 4 or 5 swipes per side right at the very end of it all. A lot of people like to do the entire angle change with sandpaper pulls, and they will take them an hour of sandpaper pulling. If I did that, my hands would hurt. Like I have arthritis and stuff. Plus, I don't want to spend a whole hour doing that. So I know how much I want to take off of it because I made the calculations usually. On this one, I decided to go with 0.8 of a millimeter. You can almost always be safe by just starting off by taking 1 millimeter off your heel at the tail end and then tapering it to nothing up towards the fretboard. I use a piece of tape, and then I use a chisel. And then, like I said, last couple pulls, or last thing I do is a couple sandpaper pulls just to make sure that the heel marries up with the body nicely. This is the sandpaper pulling sandpaper from StewMac. I'm going to end up filling in that strap button hole and doing a little finish repair around this heel. Cover up will crack. kind of want to hide the evidence of the old, damage. I'll do a little French polishing, and then I'll take it down and spray a few coats of lacquer in the garage. Okay, now I've got it loaded back into the Propper's Guitar Workstation. This is the expansion package. You can get that from Total Vice. The support that I put underneath the body, basically under the neck block, are just 2x4s cut into various angled pieces, and I load magnets into them so they stick. Then I've got various pieces that have cork lined pieces that you probably can't tell, but this is slightly angled because different guitar backs have different arches on them. Anyways, these are all I put magnets on them. You can get magnets kind of cheap, I got these on Amazon. They're just itty bitty little magnets. But anyways, this is the 5/16 by 18 threaded rod, and these hold downs, these are through knobs, they're called. These are actually quick release knobs, available at McMaster Car. And this is just a drinking straw, thick, like smoothie straw. These I made myself. They're just 1x3 poplar, cut to about 2.5, 3 inches. And there's a threaded insert. I drill a hole and insert the brass insert into the wooden block so that the 5/16 by 18 threaded rod threads right into it. It's very sturdy. This guitar's not going anywhere. And you'll see over here that the head is not supported by anything. There's no shim in the dovetail either. So what I'm going to do now is string the guitar up to full tension and see where my neck angle is at. The reason I do it this way is because sometimes the body has a little deflection in it. When you can't tell until you put string tension on it, but the body actually flexes a little bit under tension. And if you just hold a straight edge up here, you'll get one reading, that's for sure, but it can totally change under string tension. And I don't like the idea of gluing the neck in to find out that I've got the wrong angle on the neck and I have to have a way too tall saddle or way too short of a saddle. I want my saddle to be where I want it to be, where it's a safe, break angle down to the bridge pin holes. If you don't want it too tall of a saddle, because you create some problems further down the line with the guitar top, could deform. Alright, here we go. It's tuned up. Full tension. 6/64 on the bass. 4/64 treble. That looks perfect. Break angle looks lovely. Saddle is conservative. It's not super tall, but it's good. String alignment with the fretboard. The treble side is a little too close to the edge. I don't have any shims in here right now, but if I shim one side or the other, I will be able to get it to shift slightly. So I'm going to have to take the neck off to decide which side I'm going to shim, but I think it's only going to take shimming one side to get this ready to go. I can also check my neck relief with a straight edge here. Some people will use a capo and the string. I do not. I like to use this precision straight edge. And it was right about this time that I realized this bridge has been shaved down over the years, and I would like to go ahead and go back to a full height bridge, just the way they came from the factory. As you guys probably noticed before I did, if you're doing a neck reset, now is the time to do the bridge. So I got the heat lamp out and warmed up the old Brazilian bridge, popped it off of there, filled in all the old bridge pinholes because the intonation was off. It needed to come forward and towards the bass side. So the Indian rosewood bridge didn't look so good, so I stained it. And glued it back down with the proper string alignment and intonation points. I fixed the bridge plate in the process. And the neck is glued back on. There's a little bit of fret leveling to do by the neck to body joint. And after that we crown and polish. Naphtha to clean. Fret dust. Dunlop oil. Mohawk oil. Ooh, just getting plugged up a little bit there. That was too much. Okay. She's swimming in a pool of oils. Maybe it wasn't too much. She was thirsty. Look at her. So we're all done. It's all strung up and neck has been reset. That's the repair. The cosmetic repair. Came out okay. Will never be new again. But it's really playable, functional, and I hope he likes it. It really sounds good. Oh yeah, big improvement. Big tall bridge, nice saddle, new pins. We got pretty low action. 6/64ths and 4/64ths. Frets came out good. Original nut still good. Original frets, just polished them up. Gave them a little level. Thanks a bunch for sticking around to the end, guys. I really appreciate it. And if you want to support my channel, please go to my site or my store and grab some merch. And have a Merry Christmas. And thanks for making this my best year ever. Another success. Take one last look at this neck repair. Still visible, but looks alright. I'm still going to polish up the top a little more. Got a nice tall saddle, a new bridge, and got pretty low action. I got 6/64ths on the bass side and 4/64ths on the treble side. I might lower it a little bit on the bass side because I like it a little more like 5.5/64ths. We'll catch you later.